Hi, and welcome back to Comic Book Gallery. I'm your host, Joaquin. Today's episode under review is Dungeons and Dragons Art and Arcania, a Visual History. Now, I left these two stickers on, but I'll be taking them off after this video. But I just wanted to show you, for those people who are into Dungeons and Dragons, this is a great book of history. And the reason why I also wanted to show you this was right here. You have this exclusive Barnes and Nobles, but the comic book store, and one of the comic book stores I was going to, they had one. And you can see right here, if you go to Barnes and Noble, save an extra 10% off if you're a member, but if not, 20. The price of this book is $50, but with my discounts, it came out to $40. So this was a great pickup. I mean, I was just so impressed. I don't think my little plastic stand could take this. We're going to find out. Gabby Chanto. Hold on, baby. Hold on. So I just wanted to flip through. For those of you who are not into RPGs, but know about Dungeons and Dragons, and if you're into comic books or you're into sci-fi or fantasy, I know you at least have heard of the game. But this book, and I just want to go through some of this, it goes through the history of the game and how it developed. Great insight. There's some really good pages in here. So I brought you to here because when I was in high school, let's see if I can get some of that glare off. I think it'd just be better if I hold it this way. When I was in high school, all these dragon covers, because there was a magazine about the game, I used to draw these. And this was one of my favorite covers to draw because it was just so tight to me. Look at that. That's just great artwork, people. So if you're from a comic book fan, if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, and you don't really care about this art, I understand, but you gotta appreciate what they were able to do and what they did back. This is all before you could work on your laptop or with graphics. These are all paintings. So to me, I'm more impressed with somebody who does a painting than with anybody who works on a laptop or any type of computer program or whatever, animation. Well, hand-drawn animation. Because the skill it takes to produce something like this is way harder than it does just to push a few buttons and to move your mouse, click this, do that. I'm not taking anything away from those people because you still got to be creative to create those images. And what they've been able to do with those, I've been amazed. I love looking at their art. But when it comes down to it, this is much harder. To take this as a drawing, to work it out as a painting, and not just have a program do it for you, is, to me, amazing. Yeah, here's a little beholder painting. Some guy charmed by a beholder. Nice little graphics here. And so that was like first edition. And when I was a child, I actually started playing during second edition. And the reason why, a friend of mine, his name was Jeff, his older brother Joey was a dungeon master. So he introduced us to the game so he could start working out scenarios for his group and work out any problem areas. Problem areas sound like it back to critiquing my art. But Eddie, he just wanted to, spend time with his brother and at the same time improve his craft of being a dungeon master and being familiar with some material. I drew this a few times too. I thought this was a cool picture. I just want to highlight some things. For those of you who are Dungeons and Dragons fans, this, and you have been around since the 90s, you remember a lot of this stuff. This is just classic. So if you're, Barnes and Noble, It's not full nudity, but yeah. I remember drawing her. In the name of art, I drew these pictures. Art. Um, these are classics. These bring back a lot of memories. I had a lot of fun time with friends, playing, dying, making new characters. If you played Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s and 90s, you know, everybody went through this, to Keep on the Borderland. Such a great adventure. And some artwork. I remember when I was a kid and we had to face the owl bear and he showed us this illustration. I was like, ooh, that thing's gonna kill us. And it killed like half our henchmen. And we almost died. But it was fun. There's the map. Oh, these are great art, people. I remember when this book came out. It's called The Fiend de Folio. So as a child, even though I was like around 9 when my parents started buying me Dungeons and Dragon books, and my mom at first was like, well, he can't even barely understand it or read it. My father understood that not only because of the artwork, but it encouraged me to read and to learn words that I normally wouldn't learn at my educational level. You know, being in first, second grade, you're not going to be learning how to spell in words like invisibility and other little concepts. But I was learning. That's a game they had. I don't think I ever owned that game. I think I played it once. But they're going through the history. They're showing you everything. I'm going to keep this under 10. I'm watching my time. So I'm trying to show you as much as I can and giving you little tidbits. But, man, you want to talk about nostalgia for me. I've been showing people this book all week. Like, damn, Joaquin, you really were a big nerd. No, not really. Kind of like an undercover nerd. I played a lot of sports with my friends. I didn't try out for the team. I just didn't like half the people who were on the team. So I was like, I don't even want to play with these people, and I don't like my school, so there's that. But there were some cool players who would always try to get me to join the football team. I was never big enough to play basketball. I mean, I'm barely 5'8". But I had speed. I enjoyed playing baseball and football. And I could shoot some hoops, but not that well. I used to live on the threes. Oh. Okay, even if you didn't play Dungeons and Dragons, you should know about this cartoon. This was a great cartoon. I used to live for this cartoon every Saturday morning. So Chris, for We Love Comics, his name is Venger. That's the main villain. And they made a board game, never played it. Oh, here's some classic. I like how they included the artwork for this. I always thought that was impressive. Here's a classic cover. I actually did a pastel of this and sold it for like $75. Yeah, I want to say all I know is I was very happy to get, number one, just to sell my art, and number two, to get $75. So for the sketchbook that you saw, my portfolio, it was similar style. So I had like an orange paper background, and then I just built it up around. It was really good. I wish I took a picture of it. I think I did, but it's a Polaroid, and all that stuff got lost. You know, you move around after so many years, like I do. I'm always jumping around. You lose things. Oh, everybody who's played D&D knows about the Temple of Elemental Evil. Yeah, I had a few characters die in there. We actually completed it, and it was pretty cool. It was fun. And it was a long adventure. It took us a couple of months, which I really enjoyed. And they started introducing Forgotten Realms, which I'm okay with. I mean, I prefer Greyhawk, But I did love this adventure right here, The Ruins of the Undermountain. It's a great box set. And for those of you who have been DMs at one time, I was explaining to some of my friends here how I had worked out a certain scenario where I covered most of this. And what they wanted to do, they ended up going up here. So I had to keep chasing them to go into the area that I had presented. And they're like, well, why don't you just prepare every room? Well, look at all these rooms. Why don't you prepare every room? That's crazy. Maybe you like to put boring stuff in there. Oh, you come in here, some orcs and orcs. Oh, there's more orcs. There's goblins. Oh, there's a troll, you know. But I put a little bit more imagination. So that's why I only wanted to keep a small little section, because I was pushing them in there. But players never like to go in the direction that you're pushing them. Here's some pictures of some drows. That was cool. And this is more second edition. Oh, look at this. Such a brilliant use of colors and motion. You see reaction on this horse. Let me get a good look at, so you can get a good look at this. This horse is like, oh, please, Jesus, help me. Yeah, I mean, this is just a great picture. I really do like it. Here's another campaign they introduced called Dark Sun. This was set in another world where it's kind of like a gladiator world out in the desert. Damn, that girl's been working out. Here's a cool gladiator cover where he's in the pit just fighting, and he seems to be enjoying life. Okay. Like I said, I'm skipping through big chunks of this book because, damn, I'm already at 12 minutes. Sorry, people. All right. If you like what you see, hit the like button. Leave a comment below about if you plan on getting this book, if you played the game, what you liked about the game, any good memories you had. Any good memories you had with some of the adventures that they showed in here. I mean, man, this art, all I gotta say is, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, this is a must-have book. Must-have, people. And they go through like all the editions, 4th edition. And now we're getting to characters. And I gotta say, this is a brilliant. I mean, I want to eventually paint this as a tribute painting. That's how good this is. But I have another idea, which I don't want to share because I don't want somebody taking my idea. But I am going to do Tiamat. But I was telling my friends, I was like, when I was like, 8, 9, when I first saw this image, maybe even 7 or 8, I was so impressed with that. I was like, whoa, that's Tiamat. It's got a 5-headed dragon, and each dragon head's a different color. Oh, we're all going to die if we ever meet her. And our DM, Joey, was Jeff's older brother. He'd be like, yeah, I won't release Tiamat on you today. And I was like, oh, please, not ever. But then part of me is like, I hope I do face her, because that means my character is like OP. Nah, it doesn't matter how OP you are. You're going to die. But from there to go to this, when I was a kid, when I saw this, I loosely had an imagination of this. This is what I see in my head. And this is what a lot of process of artists see. You see something simple, and then in your head, this is what you imagine it. And this is what you're trying to pull out. Oh, so great. Yeah, I know I said I would keep this under 10. But I guess I lied, and I apologize to you all. And I want to thank you all for staying this long. That's where I wanted to show you. A couple last things. So this was the original box, which I no longer have. And I wish I did, because it's worth a lot of money. And one last... yeah. And these were the... Man, I love the artwork they had back then for these old modules. G1, Standing in the Hill Giant. G2, Glacier Rift of the Frost Giant jar. G3, Hall of the Fire Giant. So at one point, they linked the Temple of Elemental Evil into this, but this was a series that went from here, and then from this last one, you segue into the underground. So a descent into the depths of the earth, D1. The Shrine of the Kuto. You know what I'm saying. You're like, no, we don't, Joaquin. That'd be another 5 minutes trying to pronounce that. And D3, the Vault of the Drow. And then it all led up to Q1, which was the Webs of the Spider Queen, which was Loth. Oh, great module. Great. I mean, I played through all of this, died several times, made several characters, and then just kept going. For those of you who had the privilege of playing the original Tomb of Horrors, you died. Don't lie, say you made it through. Your DM felt sorry for you. This was a part of a series called the S series. And so this is Tomb of Horrors. This one right here is S2, White Plume Mountain. Great weapons that they had in there. And here's T1, the village of Hamlet, which was the first version for it. But as I showed you before, they had the Temple of Elemental Evil. But this is what started it. And they went from designing it here, and they just made it straight into a book afterwards. They never went T2, T3, T4 like they had planned. And I was kind of disappointed in that because I would like to have seen each individual cover and what else information that they could, instead of trying to cram that all together, if they could have split it up and make it a little bit more interesting. But that will do it. I mean, you know, this game has been around since 1975, I want to say, 75, 76. So maybe even 77. I should know these things if I'm talking about a product, but you don't have to know what year it started. Just know it started in the mid-70s. And you can leave a comment below, Joaquin, it was started in 1970, whatever. But thank you for sharing. And I hope you enjoyed this video and saw a glimpse of a book that you should just get if you're a D&D fan. I mean, that's all I got to say. It's a great book. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you have a good weekend. We're leading up to the weekend. So I hope you have a good weekend. Take care, people. Oh, you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And hello, if you like what you see, hit the like button. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that earlier in the video, but just throwing that out there now. So take care.